Hello everyone, Tina here. I'm back again with another 5 easy step card. We're just going to jump right in and start creating. Starting off with step number 1, we're going to create our focal point. We're going to make a nautical card today. We're using the Spellbinders Deckside Dreams. This creates a fun ship, and let's do a little bit of die cutting. I picked out a color of ship that I wanted to create, and we're going to do a little bit of layering. So this piece here is super neat, because this has a score line down the middle and then these flaps fold in, so you can add a little bit of dimension to your ship. So neat. I'm actually going to die cut this out twice. Once with Spellbinders Sicily cardstock, another with Spellbinders Indigo cardstock. Okay, and then this piece, you have the insert that creates some fun lines or some ship details. I'm cutting both of these out with some mirror cardstock. This is from Spellbinders. It's actually part of their treasured cardstock series. This one here is silver metallic. So we'll cut this out like this, and then with the outline I want a yellow background, so I have some yellow cardstock. This is Spellbinders Beeswax. There's a little smoke piece that I'm going to cut out with some fog cardstock. There's the chimney. Well, I don't know if this is called the chimney on the ship, but there's the chimney. That's cut out with Spellbinders Anchor cardstock. And then lastly, there are 2 pieces left for like an ocean scene. We're just going to use the ship on our card today as our focal point, and this piece is a detail piece. So I'm going to cut one out with my Sicily and one out with my Indigo. And while we're die cutting, I'm also bringing in another die set because I want an anchor on my card. We're not adding any ocean scenery, so I thought an anchor would be really fun. This is where I'm going to bring in the Coastal Escape die. I designed this for Spellbinders, and it has a real nice size anchor in here. I'm going to cut my anchor out with some silver cardstock also. I have a little bit of die cutting to do. I'll see you in a minute. To put the ship together, it's pretty simple. We're going to take the mirror silver cardstock, and I'm going to add some glue behind here, a little on the bottom, and then I'll attach it to its background. And then we have the detail pieces that we're going to add, just using a little bit of glue. Next we'll add our smokestack. That's what it is, not a chimney, a smokestack. That sounds a lot better. Okay, then we're going to add our smoke. And we'll just add this. And that's the upper portion of the ship. Now the bottom you would just use one, but I'm going to add a detail layer with this. So to add it, I'm actually going to trim away the left and right here. This is score lines on the ship. I'm going to go inside the score line actually. That way it will lay on my main piece here. Okay, so we trim that down, and then with our Indigo we're going to fold it in half. You can use a bone folder to reinforce it. Okay, I'm actually going to fold this one in half too, where that score line is. And then these side pieces fold in also. Here we go. And this piece, I'm going to add glue to the front. Not all the way up, because the only part that I want to show is a little bit of the top piece. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to add it to this piece. And that's all there is to that. You see, I don't have to even add any foam tape to this because the score line does the work for you. Okay, so this is what our ship will look like after we have it together. You can see it kind of bows like this, so it does have dimension. How cool is this? Now I am going to add my anchor. I'm just going to add it at the very top here. In that die set, the Coastal Escape, there is a piece of wood that you could put across the top. I'm not going to do that. I just want to keep this silver. Okay, that is my focal point. Eventually it's going to go like this on my card. Now we're going to move along to step number 2, and we're going to create our home panel. So I'll let this dry. We'll put this to the side. Home panel, I'm bringing in a die set from Spellbinders. This is the Postage Edge rectangles. I don't think Spellbinders has this anymore, but they do have a postage stamp die, another postage die that I'll link. This one has the postage edge, and then it also has a dotted detail. I think their newer one doesn't have the dotted detail, but I'll link it just in case you guys don't have one. But this is going to work perfect for my home panel. So I'm bringing in some cardstock. I'm just going to use white today, and I'm going to cut out my postage edge, and then I'm going to cut out this dotted detail area. All we're going to do with these is just layer them together. Since I have my glue on my desk, I'll just use my glue. Today's card's going to be kind of a clean and simple card. So I'm not going to do any bells or whistles on my home panel. We're just going to layer these two together. And that's my home panel. What we're going to do next is take our ship here. I am going to pop this up with some foam tape. And as far as the colors go, sky's the limit. You can mix and match, create any kind of ship or boat that you want. Now I'm going to take this piece, and these little flaps on the left and right, we're going to add glue to. And then I'm going to tack this down. Now if you're shipping this through the mail, you may want to put a couple foam squares inside here, just so it doesn't flatten. But I love the way this looks. Nice and clean. Now we're going to move along to step number 3, which means we're going to create our greeting. This month, in the Spellbinders Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit, there was a sentiment stamp set called Anchors Away. We're going to use the greeting that says Ahoy matey, making it an everyday card. Could be a birthday card too, which is nice. We're going to do a little heat embossing on some Spellbinders Indigo cardstock. I'm going to use my anti-static powder. We're going to go over that, and then I'm going to ink up my Ahoy matey with my watermark ink. I'm going to add some white embossing powder. Haven't embossed in a while. I think this will be really nice against that blue. I'll use my heat gun and we'll melt this. Lovely. Give that a minute to dry. And then I will take the coordinating die, we'll wipe off that powder, and I will cut this out. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my home panel, and I'm going to kind of curve it a little bit, and I'm going to add it right across my anchor in that blue section. And that's my greeting. Now we're going to move along to step number 4 and create our background. Keeping with the postage theme, I'm bringing in a stencil set that has a postage edge here. If you have pattern paper that has some diagonal stripes, you could use that. I just wanted some stripes showing around the edge of my background. So this one here is the stencil of the month for April 2025. And if Spellbinders has this, I will link it down below. It's 2 sets in 1. This is a layering set that has 3 stencils to create this envelope pattern, and then it has the postage edge, which is really cool. I'll link the video that I created using this at the end if you guys want to check it out. This creates a real fun card. Okay, so this is a 2-piece stencil set for the postage edge. I'm going to bring in my grip mat. I have an A2 panel of white cardstock. We're going to attach that, and then I'm going to start off with this stencil here. We're just going to line it up in the corner. I'm using my Pinkfresh Studio Storm ink and my blending brush, and I'm going to go over pretty heavily because I'm going to try and emulate the same color as my indigo. So I'm going to go really dark. I'm just going to go over these stripes. Lovely. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my stencil. And then I'm going to replace this with my next layer. For my next stencil, this actually has polka dots on it. I'm not concerned about that because you're not going to be able to see them. But I'm just going to go around the perimeter of this one. And I'm using my Pinkfresh Studio Persimmon ink. I tried to find a color that was really close to this Sicily color. It's a really pretty orange. And it has more of a pinky tint to it. So I'm going to tone it down. I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute. But we're going to go over the edge really quickly. And just to tone down that orange a little bit, I'm going to use the ink, after I did wipe off my stencil, I'm going to use the ink that's left over on my blue blending brush, and I'm going to just add a little blue over it. It's just going to tone down that orange a little bit. Maybe it will match my ship a little better. And that's all there is to that. We'll wipe off our stencil, and our background is all done. We have some nice stripes on here. I'm going to take this panel and put it on the front of a top folding A2 size card base. And again, you're not going to see the polka dots. Polka dots are a little bit playful. Okay, I am going to take this. Now I'm going to take this panel. Now I like dimension on my cards, and if you're going to mail this, I suggest just taping this down directly to your background. But what I'm going to do is bring in some pop-up foam, and I'm going to add this behind this panel because I want a little bit of dimension on my card today. And of course, again, if you don't want the dimension, skip this step. That's all there is to that. We're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm bringing in my Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. This is the silver mix. I'm actually going to use silver on my card. We're just going to add a few. I'm also going to add 3 of the itty bitties in this section here, accenting my ship a little bit, giving it a little extra detail, kind of fancying it up, making it look more like a yacht. Great for any occasion, but that finishes off my 5 easy step card. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.